It's time for another Healey 3000 tour, and this week we have a Healey 3000 Mark I 1960. And this car is interesting. There's a lot that's nice and a couple things that aren't quite as nice, but it's a great car. Let's start with these grease fittings in the back and the suspension, which I just greased. We've got a new wheel cylinder here in the back, which is nice. And here's where some of the trouble starts. These inner sills rust on these cars. In the other video I showed you of a Mark II, you saw that all this was solid, and here's where they rot, all along this inner rail, and then these outriggers. Now the outriggers are fine on this car, which is great, but we've got a little bit of rust going on here, and interestingly enough, the last owner told me it's been this way since 1983 when he bought it. So it's clearly not something that's going to stop you from enjoying this car, but it is something to know about on Healeys. And here we've got a little bit of patching that went on, probably again 25 years ago. And then this car has fiberglass fenders, so you can sort of see the inner lining of the fender there, which is not the way they normally look because most of them are steel. And then moving on to the front suspension, we've got new brake pads were installed and new brake lines. The rotors look either I'm presuming they're brand new. Not many people cut these anymore. I've just greased all the suspension points here. You can see the telltale red grease and the Zerk fittings. So all that's been maintained. And we've got the same on this side, the new brake lines and lubricated suspension. And then coming back down on this side, I'll show you as well more of that inner sill challenge right along. Let's see if we can see it there. See that behind the muffler where the inner sill is actually rusted away, and a little bit of brazing went on here to reinforce this outrigger, which is good. Again, this is a very solid car. I'm being pretty critical. Try and make these videos as informational as possible, whether you're interested in this car or not. It's a great reference point for Healeys. And the frame rails are really solid. That's what's holding this car together. Also, you get to see something quite nice, a luxury, which is that this transmission was just out. The overdrive was just rebuilt. And here we have basically what amounts to a nice new transmission, nice and clean in the proper Healey green color, and then a new slave cylinder and hydraulic line. So all in all, a very nice, solid car with a lot going for it. But a little bit of rust in the outer, well, we'll call them the inner sills, I guess, on the inside of the rocker panels. Just to show you, here's the rocker all along here. A little bit of rust on the inner sill, but on the outside of this car. And it didn't stop me from buying this car, and it shouldn't stop anyone from enjoying it for many years to come. Thanks for watching.